Dear students, I am very happy to see you in this video lecture on the course code U18Pcit502 course name Mobile Communication. And I am D.Rukmani, Assistant Professor in the Department of Information Technology, working in Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research, going to deliver you the video lecture on the topic Mobile Platforms and Applications. Mobile platforms and applications, which is a mobile device operating systems, special constraints and requirements, commercial mobile operating systems, software development kit. Under the software development kit, we are going to see about iOS, Android, Blackberry, Windows Phone, M-commerce structure, and pros and cons of M-commerce. At last, about the mobile payment systems and the security issues. So these are the topics we are going to see under the mobile platforms and applications. Mobile OS. A mobile operating systems or a mobile OS, which is an operating system for the smartphones, tablets, PDAs, or other mobile devices. While the computers, such as the typical laptop or a mobile, the operating systems usually used on them are not considered the mobile ones, as they were originally originated for bigger stationary desktops, computers that historically did not have or need the specific mobile features. So this distinction is getting blurred in some newer operating systems that are hybrids made for both uses. So here the mobile operating system, that is a mobile OS, will combine the features of a personal computer operating systems with other features useful for the mobile or the handheld use, usually including and most of the following considered essentials in the modern mobile systems: a touchscreens, cellular, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS mobile navigation, cameras, video cameras, speech recognition, voice recorder, music player, near-field communication, and at last the infrared blaster. So these are the mobile operating systems which includes the features. So here the mobile OS, which is an operating system for the smartphones, tablets, PDAs, or other mobile devices. While the computers, such as the typical laptops, are mobile, the operating systems usually used on them are not considered the mobile ones, as they were originally designed for big stationary desktop computers that did not have or specific mobile features. The mobile device with the mobile communication capabilities, that is example smartphones, contains two mobile operating systems. The main user-facing software platform is supplemented by a second low-level proprietary real-time operating systems, which will operate the radio as well as the other hardwares. So here, the research has shown that these low-level systems may contain a range of security vulnerabilities, permitting the malicious base stations will gain the high levels of control over the mobile device. A mobile OS is a software platform on top of which the other programs called the application programs that can run on the mobile devices such as PDAs, cellular phones, smartphones, and etc. A mobile operating system is a system software that is specifically designed to run on handheld devices such as the mobile phones or PDAs. It is the platform on which the application programs run on the mobile devices. So here, each operating system follows its own architecture. The mobile devices evolved the way users across the globe leverage systems on the go from voice call to the smart devices, which will enable the user to access the value-added services anytime and anywhere. At present, the mobile devices are able to provide various services to users, but still it suffers from the issues include the performance, securities, and privacies. At last will be the reliability and the bandwidth cost. So this is an architecture which contains the applications, Under the applications, we will be having an application framework. So under that, we will be having the libraries and the Android runtime, considered by the followed by the kernels and the hardware. So this is an architecture. We will be having n number of applications, followed by the application framework, next the libraries, Android runtime, kernels and the hardware. So now we are going to see each one in detail. First, we are going to see about the applications. So the diagram shows 4 basic apps. See here, we'll be having 4 basic apps, which is App 1, App 2, App 3, and App 4. So just to give the idea that there can be a multiple apps sitting on top of the Androids. So these apps are like any user interface you use on Android. For example, when you use a music player, the GUI on which there are buttons to play, pause, seek, etc., which is on the applications. Similarly, it is an app for making the calls, a camera app, and also. And these apps are not necessarily for Google. Anyone can develop an app and make it available to everyone through the Google Play Stores. So these apps are developed in Java and they are installed directly without the need to integrate with the Android OS. Next, we are going to see about the application framework. So scratching the further below the applications, we reach the application framework, which the application developers can leverage in developing the Android applications. The framework offers a huge set of APIs used by the developers for various standard purposes, so that they don't have to code every basic task. The framework, which consists of certain entities, that the major ones are Activity Manager, Notification Manager, Views, Resource Managers. At last will be the Content Provider. Next will be the Activity Manager. This manages the activities that govern the application lifestyle and has the several states. An application may have multiple activities which have their own life cycles. However, there is one main activity that starts when the application is launched. Generally, each activity is an application which is given a window that has its own layout and the user interface. An activity is stopped when the another starts and get back to the window that initiated it through the activity callback. Next will be the Notification Manager. So under the Notification Manager, this manager will enable the applications to create the customized alerts. Views are used to create the layouts, including the components such as grids, lists, buttons, etc. Resource managers. So the applications to require the external resources such as graphics, external strings, etc. All these resources are managed by the resource manager, which makes them available in the standardized way. Last will be the content provider. The applications share the data from time to time when applications may need some data from another applications. For example, an international calling application will need to access the user's address book. So this will access to another application data, which is enabled by the content providers. Libraries. So this layer holds the Android native libraries. These libraries are written in C or C++, and they will offer the capabilities similar to the above layers. While sitting on top of the kernel, a few of the major native libraries include Surface Manager, Framework, System C libraries, OpenGL ES libraries, and SQLite. First, we are going to see each one in detail. The first under the library is the Surface Manager, so which manages the display and the compositing binding manager, that is a media. Next will be the Framework, so which supports the various audio and video formats and codecs, including the playback and the recordings. Next will be the System C libraries. So here the standard C libraries like LIBC targeted for ARM or the embedded devices. Next is the OpenGL ES libraries. So these are the graphics libraries for rendering 2Ds as well as the 3D graphics. Next is the SQLite, a database engine for Android. Next is the kernel. The Android OS is derived from the Linux kernel 2.6 and it actually created from the Linux source that is compiled for the mobile devices. The memory management, the process management, etc. are mostly similar. The kernel acts as a hardware abstraction layer between the hardware and the Android software stack. Special service requirements. It supports for the specific communication protocols. And it also supports for a variety of input mechanisms. It complies with the open standards, extensive library support, and it also supports for the integrated development environments. So these are the special service requirements. The smartphones are now participating nearly in each and every sphere of life like businesses, educations, workplace, and the healthcare. The worldwide mobile communication device Open Operating System 6, that is WMC-DOS, will provide a total market of 104,898 to end users by OS. There are over 1.3 million active applications in Google Play App Store. Android, which is a first open source, which is the Linux-based and the modern mobile handset platform. The Google has developed it from the handset manufacturers like T-Mobile, Sprint, Nextel, Google, Intel, Samsung, etc. It offers to the consumers a richer, less expensive, better mobile experience and the various features like 3D, SQLite connectivity, WebKit, Dalvik, and FreeType, etc. Since the Android will provide an open source operating systems, users by the Microsoft for the mobile phones and the Pocket PS. Its origin dated back to Windows CE in 1996. Through Windows Mobile itself, it first appeared in 2000 as a Pocket PC 2000. It was renamed as the Windows Mobile in 2003, at which the point it came in several versions similar to the desktop versions of the Windows, and it was aimed at the business and the enterprise consumers. By 2007, it was the most popular smartphone software in the US, but this popularity faded in the following years. In February 2010, facing competitions from viral OS, that is operating systems including OS and the Android, iOS and the Android, the Microsoft announced the Windows Phone to supersede Windows Mobile. As a result, the Windows Mobile has been deprecated. The Windows Phone is incompatible with the Windows Mobile device and the software. The last version of the Windows Mobile, which is released after the announcement of Windows Phone, was 6.5.5. After this, the Microsoft ceased the development on the Windows Mobile in order to concentrate on the Windows Phone. Most versions of Windows Mobile have a standard set of features such as multitasking and the ability to navigate a file system similar to that of the Windows 9X and the Windows 8, including the support for many of the same file types. Similarly to its desktop counterpart, it comes bundled with a set of applications that will perform a basic task. Internet Explorer Mobile is the default web browser and a Windows Media Player, which is a default media player which is used for playing digital media. The mobile version of the Microsoft Office is the default Office suite. Commercial mobile operating systems. So here, the internet connection sharing, which is supported on the compatible devices, will allow the phone to share its internet connection with the computers via the USBs and the Bluetooth. The Windows Mobile supports a virtual private networking over PPTP protocol. So here, most devices with mobile connectivity also have the radio interface layer. So that RIL, the radio interface layer, provides a system interface between the cell core layer within the Windows Mobile OS, and the radio protocol stack, which is used by the wireless modem partners. This will allow OEMs to integrate a variety of models into their equipment. The user interface changed dramatically between the versions, only retaining the similar functionalities. The today's screen, later called the home screen, will show the current date, owner information, upcoming appointments, emails, and the tasks. The taskbar will display the current time as well as the volume level. The devices with a cellular radio also show the signal strength on said taskbar. Palm OS, which is also called as Garnet OS. This is a mobile operating system initially developed by the Palm for personal digital assistants, that is PDAs, in 1996. The Palm OS was designed for ease of use with a touchscreen-based graphical user interface. It is provided with a suite of basic applications for the personal information management. Later, the version of the OS have been extended to support these smartphones. Several other licenses have manufactured the devices covered by Palm OS. The Palm OS was originally developed under the direction of Jeff Hopkins at the Palm Computing. The Palm was later acquired by the US Robotics Corporation, which in turn was later bought by Precoms, which made the Palm subsidiary an independent publicly traded company on the March 2000. The Palm OS is the proprietary mobile operating system which is designed in 1996 for the Palm Computing new pilot PDA. It has been implemented on a wide array of mobile devices including smartphones, wristwatches, handheld gaming consoles, barcode readers, and GPS devices. The Palm OS versions earlier than 5.0 will run on the Motorola Freescale Jargon word processors. From version 5.0 onwards, the Palm OS runs on ARM architecture, which is based on the processors. The key features of the current Palm OS, the garnets are, which is simple, single tasking environment to allow launching of the full screen applications with a basic common GUI set. Monochrome or color screen with a resolution up to 480 x 320 pixels. Handwriting recognition input system called Graffiti. Hot-sync technology for data synchronization with desktop computers. Sound playback and record capabilities. Simple security model. Here the device can be locked by the password. Arbitrary application records can be made private. By the TCP or IP network access, it will be having a serial port or the USB and also the infrared, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connections. The expansion of memory card support will be defined standard data format for personal information management applications, which will store the calendar, address, task and note entries, which is accessible by the third-party applications. Included with the OS, which is a set of standard applications with the most relevant ones for the four-mentioned PIM operations. The Symbian was a closed-source mobile operating system and the computing platform which is designed for the smartphones. The Symbian was originally developed by the Symbian Limited as a descendant of Python's EPOCs and runs exclusively on ARM processors, although an unreleased x86 code existed. The iOS, originally an iPhone OS, is a mobile operating system which is created and developed by the Apple Inc. and distributed exclusively for the Apple purpose. It is the operating system that presently powers many of the company's mobile devices, including the iPhone, iPad, and the iPod Touch. The iOS user interface, which is based on the concept of direct manipulation using the multi-touch gestures, interface control, elements consist of sliders, switches, and buttons. The interaction with the OS includes the gestures such as swipe, tap, pinch, and reverse pinch, all of which have the specific definitions within the context of the iOS operating system and its multi-touch interface. The iOS shares with OS X some frameworks such as Core Foundations and the Foundation Kit. However, its UI toolkit is a Cocoa Touch rather than the OS X program, so that it provides the UI kit framework rather than the App Kit framework. It is therefore not compatible with the OS X for the applications. The Android is a mobile operating system which is currently developed by the Google based on the Linux kernel, and it is designed primarily for the touchscreen mobile devices such as the smartphones and the tablets. The Android's user interface, which is mainly based on direct manipulation using the touch gestures that loosely correspond to the real-world actions such as swiping, tapping, and reaching. To manipulate on-screen objects along with the virtual keypad for the text input, in addition to the touchscreen devices, Google has further developed Android TV for televisions, Android Auto for cars, Android Wear for wristwatches, each with a specialized user interface. The variants of Android are also used on notebooks, game consoles, digital cameras, and other electronics. The Android has the largest installed base of all the operating systems of any kind. The Android has been the best-selling OS on the tablets since 2013, and on smartphones it is dominant by a metric. The Android source code is released by a Google under open source license. Although most Android devices ultimately ship with a combination of open source and a proprietary software, including the proprietary software required for accessing the Google services. The Android is popular with the technology companies but requires a ready-made, low-cost, and customizable operating systems for high-tech devices. Its open nature has encouraged a large community of developers and enthusiastic to use the open source code as a foundation for community-driven projects, which add new features for advanced users, being an Android device originally shipped with other operating systems. The success of Android has made it a target for patent litigations as part of the so-called smartphones wars between the technology companies. Software Development Kit. The iOS SDK, which is a software development kit, formerly an iPhone SDK, is a Apple Inc. and it was released in February 2008 to develop the native applications of iOS. Developers are able to set any price above a set minimum for their applications to be distributed to the app stores, of which they will receive a 70% share. Alternatively, they may opt to release the applications for free and need not pay any cost to release or distribute the application except of the membership fee. Since its release, there has been some controversy regarding the refund policy in the fine print of the developer agreement with the Apples. So according to the agreement, the developers must agree to, if someone purchases an app from the App Store, the 30% of the price will go to Apple and 70% to the developers. Android software development. The Android software development, which is a process by which new applications are created for the Android operating systems. So here the applications are usually developed in Java programming language using the Android software development kit. But other development environments are also available. The SDK includes a comprehensive set of development tools. These will include a debugger, libraries, handset emulators, which is based on QEMU, documentation, sample code, and tutorials. Currently supported development platforms includes computers running the Linux and the Windows XP or later. As of March 2015, the SDK is not available on the Android itself. But the software development is possible by using the specialized Android applications. Blackberry OS, which is a proprietary mobile operating system developed by the Blackberry. The OS provides a multitasking and supports the specialized input devices that have been adopted by the Blackberry. This platform is perhaps best known for its native support of corporate emails through MIDP 1.0 and most recently the subset of MIDP 2.0. The operating system also supports BAP 1.2. Updates to the operating systems may be automatically available from wireless carriers that supports the Blackberry over the area software loading services. The Windows Software Development Kit for the Windows 8 will contain the header, libraries, and a selection of tools that can be used when to create the apps and that run on the Windows operating systems. It is used to require a complete development environment that includes a compilers and the build environment. You can download the Visual Studio Express, which includes the appropriate components of the Windows SDK. To download the SDK and install it on the another computer, click the download link and run the setup. Then it is in the specified location dialog box, then we need to click it. Mobile phones. The mobile commerce service was first delivered in 1997 when the first two mobile phones enabled Coca-Cola vending machines were installed in the Helsinki area in Finland. The machine accepts payments via the SMS text messages. This message evolved to several new mobile applications such as first mobile phone-based banking service was launched in 1997 with Merita Bank of Finland also using SMS. Applications are mobile ticketing, mobile vouchers, coupons and loyalty cards, content purchase and delivery, location-based services. First is the mobile ticketing. The tickets can be sent to mobile phones using a variety of technologies. Users were able to use the tickets immediately representing their phones at the venues. Mobile vouchers, coupons, and loyalty cards. The mobile ticketing technology can also be used for the distribution of vouchers, coupons, and the loyalty cards. The voucher coupon loyalty card is represented by the virtual token that is sent to the mobile phones. The mobile delivery will enable the economy of scale, quicker and easier delivery, effective target marketing, privacy of friendly data mining on the consumer behavior, environment friendly, and resource saving efficiency. Content purchase and delivery. Currently, the content purchase and delivery consists of sales of ringtones, wallpapers, games for mobile phones. Download speed is increased to 4G levels, which is made possible to buy a movie on a mobile device in a couple of seconds while onto the go. Location-based services. Unlike home PCs, the location of the mobile phone user is an important piece of information used during the mobile commerce transactions. Knowing the location of a user, allowing for the location-based services such as local maps, local offers, local weather, people tracking and monitoring. Pros and cons of mobile phones. The list of advantages of e-commerce. It creates a global customer base. It opens up the rural markets. It creates more access to the user data. It provides easier inventory management. It allows you to scale a business very quickly. It provides a platform for large order processing. That is, e-commerce allows you to accept the multiple orders at once throughout the day. It is easier to remarket to the customers with e-commerce. So if a customer is shopping at a physical store and they change their mind about something, they will put the product down and walk away. You know, they were interested in that item. You can remarket items abandoned in a cart or discovered during the product searches to bring the people back to your business. It offers a platform which encourages impulse purchases. The e-commerce provides an experience that is similar to that of the standing in the checkout line. The consumers look at pictures, information, and even the emotions around them as they wait, which creates the urge to make an impulsive purchase. That is why the drinks and the candy snacks are placed near the counters. As an added advantage in the e-commerce platforms, we can add a countdown timer or show a limited quantity of items to encourage a sales through the scarcity. Disadvantages of e-commerce. It requires technology access. It offers a lack of personal touch. It requires an app or a website to be working. It requires a faith in the product. Consumers might receive the product, discover it not right for them, and then they have a way to return it for a meaningful refund or the replacement. So it is a highly competitive market. So there is a good chance that you will be competing with the several businesses around the world who do the exact same thing you do. It must have a fast service available at all times. The amount of time that a consumer is willing to wait on a purchase from an e-commerce perspective is very small. Some consumers will stop using an app or a website if it fails to load the information they need in 2 seconds. It requires you to ship the products to the customers. You are forced to put your faith into third-party shipping companies when you sell a products over an e-commerce platforms. If the shipping company fails to deliver as they should, then the consumer is going to blame your business, not the shipper. So your solution must be fully transparent to the customers, so they can choose which options are right for their specific needs. The advantage and disadvantage of e-commerce are important to consider because more internet traffic than ever before is coming from the mobile devices. Mobile payment systems. So what is mobile payment systems? So we define a mobile payment or an end payment as any transactions with the monetary value that is conducted via a mobile telecommunication networks. The mobile payment usually uses a point-of-sale payment method through the mobile device, such as cellular cell phones, smartphones, or a personal digital assistant, that is PDA. Required features of mobile payment systems. Simple and convenient, easy for the mobile users to make the payments to the mobile device, fast and efficient, fast user response and quick payment processing. Securities are the protecting buyer, seller, and all the involved parties. Secured transaction, universal acceptance will allow the consumers to shop and pay anyone, anywhere, anyhow, using the same payment solutions and the underlying wireless networkings. Business challenges. The payment cost need good business models for good payment business and services. Business challenges is the customer apathy. So according to the Foster's research, European consumers are uncomfortable with the idea of mobile payment, a fear of an unknown medium, and they are not even willing to try paying with their mobile device. The great area of promise is to bridge the gap between the touch and the feel, physical world and the convenient, and it should be a cost competitive online